Today we got a couple of tillers that a coworker of mine found in a dumpster again. He said he did try to mess with them a bit, like some new gas and spark plugs, but he could never get them to go. So gave them to me. And I've never actually messed with a tiller before, never used one, but can't be that difficult. Little 2-stroke motors. I'm gonna try to get these running without putting any money into them, because they might be shot. I think I'm gonna start with this Husky right here. This looks to be in a little bit nicer condition. I don't know where my coworker always finds these dumpsters full of cool stuff, but we got a little kill switch right here. Must be the throttle lever. Got your chokes. Let's see what happens when we give it a pull. Let's first check that we got some decent gas in here. We should. Yeah, looks pretty clean in there too. That's good. No dirt or grime or sludge or anything. Let's just lay it down and see what happens. It's a really rough pull. Makes me feel like the motor can't turn over properly, and it might be because this doesn't rotate. Like each I'm gonna try to open this up and see if I can get anywhere with that. Let's start by pulling these pins. Seeing if I can get these off. The blades. This one's moving though. Whew. Got one. Slowly but surely. There it is. Okay, well with that off, I'm gonna try to give it another pull and see if maybe it pulls a little better now. No. Nope. You could call it that. Holy moly. This thing was drenched in oil. Now I'm wondering if it couldn't pull because of all the oil in its piston. Oh yeah. There's an easy pull. gunked up in there. And it did spit out a little bit of nastiness. Here's our spark plug. I mean, look how much oil is coming off of that. Much better. I'll put the spark plug back in now and see if our pole is any nicer now that we got some of that oil and gunk out of there. I'm not even going to tighten it all the way. Nope. Alright, I think there's still oil or gas seeping in there. Hopefully the rings aren't bad, but I'm going to let it sit upside down with a little rag to catch anything dripping out. I'm just going to let that sit for a bit, and hopefully whatever's in there will just come out with gravity, and I'll keep pulling it here and there and come back in like 30 minutes, maybe an hour or so. This has sat for a while. Got that in there. Here you go, Susan. Any difference? Huh. It still feels really unhappy. Feels a little better actually. Maybe it's just a hard pull. Got me. Oh yeah, we got spark. That's a strong spark. So we're good there. Tighten our spark plug back down, put the boot on. So let's just try to fire it up right now, and if it works then we'll put the rest of it back together. Kind of sounded like it went. Sounded kind of bad. Well, it's a good start. I think the pull was just tough, but it probably did help to get that oil out of there. Alright, I'm gonna go over here so I can stay in the shade. And we're gonna see what happens. It fired up once for us. Maybe it'll fire up again. It wants to go. pretty awesome. I know that's not a very intense demo, but it might be hard to see because this is all just pine straw and sandy mess. But that was actually kind of digging in. It cut through a couple vines. We got lots of vines. I mean, that thing was running and tilling, and it actually stayed on until I bumped the choke lever over. I closed the choke. I bumped it the wrong way. That's what was wrong with it. That's pretty neat. I'm gonna have to go till somewhere and start a garden. Too bad it's too late in the year really for that, but we'll do a better demo in a bit. Next, let's jump on this one and see if we can get this one to work. This one doesn't seem to have nearly as nice of blades though, and it just overall looks like a dirtier, older, more beat up machine. But I'm gonna still try to get it going, and then we'll have 2 tillers, and why not? Alright, I had to wait till it was a little later in the day. It was just so hot today. But now that it's a little shady, a little cooler, I figured I have this little patch of kind of dirt and grass over here. So this would be a good demonstration, see how it does. And then we'll go mess with the other one and see how it does next to this one. So I'm just gonna mow like half of this little patch right here. Or mow, I'm gonna till it and see how it goes. That's a buzzkill. I broke the pull cord. Well, that's an easy fix, but I don't have another pull cord on hand. I guess it's time to go mess with the other one right now. So it seems all the work I did disassembling all this was pretty much for nothing. It had no compression issues. Maybe just getting that little bit of oil out of the cylinder helped, but I really didn't have to do anything. This thing works good. It just needs a new pull cord now, which looks like it's just 4 screws, and I should either be able to slide this down or the engine off, and I can get in there and put a new string on, but I got to get one of those. So until I get that in, let's mess with this little guy. See if this one will run. Alright, maybe if this one doesn't run, I'll just pull the cord off this and throw it on the other. Before I take anything apart, I'm just going to try to fire it up, because the other one worked really well, so maybe this one will too. The fuel plunger is a little old, but it's not leaking. It's just slow to spring back. Let's see. Had a little cough. That's good. This might be a problem for tomorrow morning. I am way too sweaty. think we got lucky there. Susan, watch out. This thing just filled up a little topsoil here. Very samey topsoil, but listen how well that's running. Pretty stinking cool. I almost gave up on it. But sometimes you just gotta keep pulling. Now I gotta put these back on since I don't have a kill switch though. Oh, there we go. Kill switch works. That is pretty cool. I know it's not super noticeable, but this was all as nice and grassy as that was. Not very nice, but that cut through. Those blades are definitely pretty worn. Might help them out to like bend them a bit more in or outward. That one over there has nicer blades. But that's nice. It's always a mystery to me why people throw away perfectly good machines. I mean, if nothing else, just sell them. Back a couple days later, got a new pull string for this fella. I was hoping I'd have a little more play. Oh, I got one. Yeah, now that I take that off, that really doesn't give me any more access. But it does make these easier to access, so. Alright. Alright, after some sleuthing around, I looked right down this hole, and there's a little Torx bit deep in there, and I'm hoping I can reach. Yep, and that'll turn the whole thing. So now I think if I stick a screwdriver in here and jam it, I should be able to block the flywheel again, take some channel locks, and they put all the screws back in here to hold this steady. Took this file, held it in here, and then was just hitting this with a hammer And I finally got it to break loose. So now we can get our clutch off. And our washer. And now I think with these screws back off, we should be able to get to our pull cord finally. There we go. Now I think I can take these two screws off. Man, it's never ending. They really buried this thing in here. And there we go. There's our spring. And here's our pull cord. There we go. Got the old one out. And now I can reuse this old handle. Should be able to force this up out of here. Yep, there we go. Stick our new string up through there. Tie a knot. Pull it back down in, and then we measure our string with the old one plus a little extra for what broke off. So I'll probably cut this about there, give me plenty of room to tie the knot. Go down there, grab it, yep, there it is. Now we can tie a knot on this side. And you shove it down in there. And I freaking forgot to put it through the red thing. So I'm already undoing it. Make sure your string is through where it's supposed to pull through. Alright, I think I got this back together. I got some extra slack, but I can take that out later. Pulling out, retracting back in. That's good. Let's see what happens when we try to put it all back together. Alright. I think we're really ready to start pulling on it now. Primed the fuel. Alright, well I put something together wrong. That sounded really bad. Alright, after I stopped filming, I kept pulling on this, and I don't know what I did, but I must have put something back together wrong or didn't tighten something down, because there's just a loud pop, and then this plastic housing cracked and this seized up, so I'm not even going to bother messing with that again, which does suck, because that would have been a nice tiller, but it came from the trash, and that is where we'll end back up, unless maybe I can find someone that'll take it. But I've got this one. I wanted to compare the two and till this area, but let's just fire this guy up and till out the rest of this video. Got a cough. Alright. That was a heck of a tangle I just got out of here. Let's see if we can keep going. I hope you could hear that, but I was just running it for a bit, filling up this patch. I was running it for a bit, tilling up this little patch, and it seems like there's something in the carburetor maybe blocking one of the ports, and it just shot out, and all of a sudden this thing started running a whole lot better. and had a lot more power behind the blades and could really dig in. It was actually leaving some nice little rows you can kind of see. But yeah, this wasn't super soft ground. This is pretty well packed. Park cars on it a lot. God, look at all that tangled back up in there already again. That's gonna be fun to pull out. But before that stopped it up, and now I've powered through. So out of both these tillers from the dumpster, we got one really good one. One almost was good, but I messed it up. So pull more stuff from the dumpsters and fix it, people. I'm gonna call this video an end, even though nothing really exciting happened, but saw a catastrophic failure and one survival. On to the next thing.